Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a detailed, in-depth look at the 2012 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport SE. And this is going to be an in-depth educational tour in the Outlander Sport. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip and go over the performance data, and show you a bunch of the unique features on the interior as well as exterior. And so, without further ado, we're going to start it up, let it run. Now on more loaded Outlander Sport models, you can opt for an integrated smart key access system for wireless locking and unlocking for the vehicle by just keeping it in your pocket. To activate, just press it once. One beep indicates locking, and then press it again. Two beeps indicate unlocking. The exterior color is known as Cosmic Blue with a full black cloth interior. And along with that smart key system, you also have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake, hit the button to start. Simple as that. Fully leather wrapped and textured steering wheel. Nice and smooth power assisted steering. We'll go over that a little bit more during the test drive portion. A little bit of satin silver accenting coming across. Not to mention, also comes standard with a continuously variable automatic transmission, otherwise known as a CVT, with manual shiftability down below here, as well as the large aluminum paddle shifters mounted behind the steering wheel. Now, as everyone knows, CVTs don't actually have gears, so the paddle shifters actually simulate the vehicle having 6 gears, and they're quite responsive. We'll also touch on that during the test drive portion. You can also manually shift it down below. Bringing it back up into reverse reveals the integrated backup camera with guidance lines. And so we're going to cut on the headlamps. They're automatic, fog lamps, as well as the hazards. The driver's side window is fully automatic. And we're going to check out the exterior, shall we? Keep in mind when you shut the door, the vehicle will chime several times, letting you know it's lost detection of the proximity key fob. Despite its name, the 2012 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport only shares a few bits from its larger, more full-size crossover sibling. The Outlander Sport is actually around 14 inches shorter and 2 inches lower and as much as 700 pounds lighter than its full-size counterpart. And designed to offer a crossover that's just a little bit different in the fact that it's nice and edgy yet a modern contemporary style, offering a nice amount of standard as well as optional luxury features at a very attractive price point. Now the front end is definitely characteristic Mitsubishi, nice curving, modest styling lines coming down the hood to a more chopped off front clip, and in the upgraded SE trim you have the xenon headlamps up front as well as the chrome accented grille and chrome accented lower inset fog lamps, definitely finishing off the more polished look of the SE trim. All of the Outlander Sport's styling cues all serve a purpose. Large, aggressive air dams inspired from the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, as well as those integrated styling lines on the back and paired with that rear spoiler give the vehicle one of the lowest coefficients of drag in its class. You also have the optional 18-inch cast aluminum alloy wheels with 4-wheel disc brakes, anti-lock brakes, stability as well as traction control, all mounted on Goodyear Eagle tires measuring 225/55. 60 to 0 stopping time is also quite reasonable for this segment at around 123 feet. What's nice about the vehicle also that it's available in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive is standard. This particular model here is the all-wheel drive premium package, come with a bunch of optional equipment. As we come across the back here, you'll notice the characteristic sloping of the rear back definitely gives a nice sharp angle that separates itself from its full-size counterpart. And a part of the all-wheel drive premium package, you have those black roof rails accenting the full glass panoramic roof. Definitely a nice touch. Not to mention automatic rain-sensing windshield wipers and heated exterior mirrors. Aside from the front end, the back end definitely makes the Outlander Sport stick out versus its larger sibling and other competitors. You have LED rear lamps with the optional rear backup camera, but what's cool about it is right around where the Mitsubishi emblem is, you have that sharp drop-off angle. It's a very inset rear fascia. It's not very wide, so it doesn't have a big lip to it. That gives it a broad, flat look across the whole back of the vehicle that actually gives it a much more wider appearance as you go down to the bottom of the lower fascia where the exhaust clip is. Pretty unique. Overall length is around 169.1 inches long with a width of 69.7 inches and a height of 64.2 inches and a total curb weight of around 3,100 pounds. And we're going to pop the hood. The Mitsubishi Outlander Sport comes with a 2-liter, 16-valve, dual-overhead cam 4-cylinder. With variable valve timing, it puts out a modest 148 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 145 foot-pounds of torque at 4,200 RPM. 4-wheel independent suspension with front and rear stabilizer bars, McPherson strut setup up front with a multi-link system out back. And with a 16.6-gallon fuel tank running on regular and leaded gas, it achieves an EPA estimated miles per gallon rating of around 25 city, 31 highway. Now paired with either a 5-speed manual transmission or this vehicle's CVT, it's a pretty big difference in performance numbers. Now the performance for the manual transmission is around 8.8 seconds 0 to 60 with a 16.6 second quarter mile at 83.9 miles an hour. Expect 0 to 60 times with the CVT to be about a second longer than that. So therefore, really, the Outlander Sport isn't really known for a whole lot of performance and superb handling. It's a nice blend of handling, but it's still a little bit of body roll going around corners and things like that. But the engine and power plant with the transmission is also very smooth, so if you're looking for a hardcore performance vehicle, this probably isn't your answer. But if you're not looking for all that extra performance, which a lot of people buying a little crossover like this aren't, it's a nice blend between everything and a nice stylish package. Just as the name suggests, the interior is very sport-oriented. Plenty of standard as well as available features to make it very customizable to suit the taste of many buyers. While not every surface features it, many of the individual touch points have nice use of padded trim coming across, this particular one being cloth right here, as well as a more vinyl-based padded trim coming across the door tops, as well as key aspects of the dash. You have your lower storage below, your power windows you saw earlier, power locks, and your power mirrors located up here. As far as the seating, fully manual buckets up front, with side airbags, modest amount of bolstering, not too much, with manual height adjustment located right here. And you also have your adjustable seat belts off to the side. Your logoed floor mats with a bit of all-weather protection in the middle, fuel cap release you saw earlier, integrated kick plate located off to the left, as well as a full manual tilting telescoping steering wheel. If you locate off to the left here, where you have the traction control where you can turn it on or off, you actually have this little headlight adjustment switch that will adjust the pitch and angle of the headlights at night, depending on your driving scenario, whether you want them more up or down depending on the visibility. Fuse panel relay located off to the left, as well as the mini airbags featured in the Outlander. You also have a standard driver knee airbag. Not to mention the optional full panoramic glass roof. With the LED accenting, we'll show that in just a little bit during the night clip. So let's go and see how she sounds. Now, it's pretty neat about this vehicle, and like I mentioned before, it comes standard with a CVT, or continuously variable automatic transmission. This functions a little bit differently from a standard automatic, as if some of you may not know, it essentially has no gears. It uses an infinite combination of possible gear ratios as well as RPM combinations to maximize performance as well as fuel economy to the engine it's mounted with. But you're also able to use it in manual mode with 6 simulated gears via the paddle shifters here. So you can downshift, and it's quite quick. In my experience with other contemporary automatic gearboxes with paddle shifters, it's by far not as quick and rapid shifting as the CVT ones are. Drop it back down into gear to merge into the highway. It essentially allows the drive shaft to maintain constant angular velocity at a very wide range of different output velocities. This allows easy, seamless transition going throughout the highway, as well as excellent low-speed maneuverability, so you don't have any shifting or anything like that. It's very gradual in its acceleration. So to be honest, as far as a pure sports car enthusiast mindset, it's completely the opposite. It's more lagging, it's very slow, but it's more smooth. You also get better efficiency with it. So it really depends on the market, what kind of car you're looking for, kind of debating on which transmission you want to go to. Now, with everything pretty much going green and everything these days, a lot of manufacturers are starting to adopt CVT transmissions. Also, what I like about this vehicle, and this is just a personal opinion type thing, a lot of the cars that have the paddle shift transmissions, they have either little buttons or little plastic flaps on the back or so. This one has big, real metal aluminum paddle shifters. I like little intricate nuances, like as anybody, but with cutting costs and everything like that a lot of manufacturers are doing these days. And I'm not saying the Outlander Sport is a premium crossover, because it's not. It's got a budget mindset to it. But just being able to feel the cold metal on a large paddle shifter, it gives you the feeling that you're driving a lot more of a high performance, more premium automobile, so to speak. The radio controls are also really easy. There's not too many buttons on the steering wheel to kind of get confused with, so you don't always have to reach over. If you had to reach over for the navigation, it's not too bad. Obviously, don't mess with it while you're driving, but if you had to make a quick adjustment. And back to the audio. Now, I'm telling you, if you like listening to music, if you're an audiophile, you like bass, all that kind of stuff, I would suggest going with the Rockford Fosgate audio system. It is light years compared to the regular one. The audio quality is incredible. You have unique styling cues, such as the the silver casing coming around the tweeters. That sub in the back packs a hefty punch. I think it's a Punch Series Rockford Fosgate. I mean, just the clarity for a factory vehicle is impressive. Another cool thing about the 2012 model Outlander Sport is the fact that they're added more sound deadening and insulation, so it's a little bit quieter than the 2011 model. That plays 1 for exterior road noise, 2 for CVT and engine noise, and 3 sound insulation for the interior for the audio system. Now I want to give a little first-person perspective and clarify what it means by the smoothness and efficiency of a CVT transmission and how it affects the performance and fuel economy. You'll notice in the center of the driver info system you have a little eco gauge that'll basically show you how economical you're driving. When you first take off, you have this surge in RPM, and then it drops back down to more economy level. If you need to accelerate more, it surges and hangs at a certain RPM. Now, with a regular transmission, you'll feel that little hesitation, the drop of the gear, and then you take off. The CVT is a very smooth transition, so you really can't tell any jerking or anything like that. It's quite a unique feel and definitely takes a little while to get used to. Now we'll do a quick acceleration pass and you'll see how it behaves under harder acceleration. It's only under the harder acceleration you get that more pronounced buzzing and rev hanging. So we're going to shut her up. Nice and soft. This Outlander Sport comes with the optional 710-watt Rockford Fosgate surround sound system fed through 9 speakers, including a 10-inch subwoofer mounted in the rear, all through this LCD touchscreen mobile media navigation interface with built-in 40GB hard drive. Not to mention standard Sirius satellite radio. Your side curtain airbags, auto dimming rear view mirror, and you'll far more appreciate this if you have a surround sound system or subwoofer actually hooked up to your computer. Up top in the center stack, we have the microphones for your hands-free Bluetooth telephone, interior illumination, as well as the control for the sunshade coming over the glass roof. And for automatic activation, if you're closing it or opening it, just push it the direction you're going just for like a second, and then it'll automatically take itself back. Now if we click mode, it'll bring up all of your different audio-visual options, including USB iPod, other auxiliary MP3 devices, hands-free Bluetooth streaming of audio, as well as your different radio modes. It's also got this pretty unique thing called Music Server. Now, with the in-6 CD changer located behind the faceplate, with the Music Server, you can actually record songs off your CD and store it on the integrated hard drive. And they'll just appear like this. By using the integrated Grace Note system also, it can actually look up the song titles and names based on the audio tracks to kind of keep it in sync. And what's nice about that is if you have a ton of CDs just laying around, especially if you like playing them in your car, just put them in, import all the songs, and you're pretty much good to go. Organize them all just like an integrated iPod. Pretty simple. This is the main audio screen for the Sirius. You have 4 different Sirius channels where you can store preset stations down below here. Sort by category. Change the channels. We have below sub-menus. You have your power here, volume controls, set, display off, sound control, your graphic equalizer, adjusting that sub in the back, preset equalizers. You can also change the sound field, which is pretty neat. It actually orients the speakers to sound differently as if you were in these different, well, scenarios. So let's see if you can tell the difference. I'm not really sure if you can hear that or not, but it does position the sound at different areas of the vehicle to make you feel like you're in one of those different scenarios. So you can kind of customize it if you're listening to a live concert or something like that on CD or your iPod. Click live and it'll bring out more of the realistic sound. Pretty neat. System settings, as well as all of your personalizable options of the vehicle. We go over to here, your full navigation screen, destination. It's actually pretty responsive. All of your points of interest, store addresses, and the like. Also, info, support info, your integrated trip computer with fuel, as well as air conditioner data. Located down below here, you have your temperature, fan speed, as well as your different zones. Front defrost, rear defrost activation, as well as recycling and AC. Current vehicle position, maintenance schedules, integrated calendar, as well as environment, outside temperature, as well as your main mobile phone screen where you can set everything up. But those are the essential features of the navigation unit inside the Outlander Sport. As we come down the center console, you have your sparse use satin silver trim, integrated cup holders, modest use of red interior illumination in the little storage pocket up there with a 12-volt power outlet off to the side. Padded center console, 2-tier, your USB power outlet, and little tray up top. As far as the steering wheel, you have your cruise control off to the right, radio controls off to the left, and your Bluetooth telephone and voice dialing off to the bottom.
Ready.
Help.
You can make calls by saying call, dial, or redial. Say transfer call to change between private and non-private mode while in a call. Say phone book to manage the phone book entries. Say setup to access system and Bluetooth settings. Say voice training to begin
your automatic windshield wiper activation, as well as your lining, turn signal, and all of that located to the left. Chrome accented gauge pod, nice and easy to read. Hit this info button, change between the different menus of the driver information system. Pretty simple. So we're going to shut her down. Now it says the steering wheel is actually unlocked. What that means is you just got to shut the door. And then it automatically locks itself. So we're going to check out the back seat. As far as the back, pretty standard room as you would expect out of a small crossover. Back seats do have the ability to fold down. I'll show that in just a little bit when I get to the trunk portion. I'm about 5'10", probably have 2.5 to 3 inches of leg space with the seating position I had up front, and probably about the same, if not just a half an inch less of head space. Through the back, give a little trunk pass through. Little coat hooks. And we'll check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we? Cargo space is just slightly compromised for the Outlander Sport compared to its full-size counterpart. With all the seats up, it's around 21.7 cubic feet of cargo space. You can actually adjust. This button here folds the seat down, but how far you want it leaning back. If you click it in that one spot there, it'll be more of a straightforward configuration, or straight up. Press it again to lean it all the way back. Put the seats down and it expands out to around 49.5 cubic feet, which is more than enough space for pretty much any everyday item. Good enough for someone who doesn't need that full-size SUV. Spare tire located down below. That subwoofer mounted off to the side, and it's also illuminated. Not bad. You also have the smart key button on the passenger door. Manual passenger seat, minus the height adjustment. Plenty of storage space. While the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport may not be the fastest, nor feel like the most refined vehicle or crossover on the market today, it definitely brings something unique. It provides a more bold statement and unique aggressive look that you don't normally find in crossover utility vehicles. Everything down from the color scheme, to using real aluminum for the paddle shifters, as well as all of the available options. At around $26,000, it pretty much tops the vehicle out. So it is pretty value priced depending on what you're looking for. A sporty alternative to the crossover market for someone who wants something in their garage that's just a little bit different. And essentially, that's what makes the Outlander Sport special in itself. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look and test drive at the 2012 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.